What is going on, my duders and dudettes? Today, I'm going to be teaching you guys something that I think is kind of important in any community of people. How to properly ship something. This has been a major issue that I have seen a lot. People aren't properly packaging their things. So when they package up something that's worth a lot of money, like, something that's worth $5, $6, $7, even upwards of $1,400, people aren't packaging it right and stuff's getting lost in the mail. And they're all blaming the post office like it's their fault. But in reality, you just got to package your stuff right. So we're going to go over that today, and I'm going to teach you guys how to do it. And it's going to be great. So let's get started. And I don't even have to really switch views because it should be all pretty easy, and I'm going to show you guys. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write our address. The cool thing about UPS is you can either write it on the box and bring it to the post office, or you can go on their website and you can plug all this stuff in on their website, and you can print out your label and tape it on, which is what I do, but I'm just going to show you how to write it anyways. So there's a From tab. That's where you're going to write your stuff. And then there's a To tab. That's where you're going to write who you're going to. So let's do that real quick. All right. So up here, we've got our name, our address, the town, and the state, and your zip code. So that's all that you're going to put there. Of course, I didn't put an actual address there, guys. I'm not going to do that. And then your to, same thing. The person's name, their address, the town, the state, and the zip code. That's what you're gonna write. That's the easy part. Now, here comes the packaging. I'm packaging up a small flat rate box. That's what's just easiest to me. Most stuff fits in a flat rate box, and it's nice because you're not charged by the weight, you're just charged a flat rate price. So that's kind of cool. It's changed in the past 5 years. I think when I started learning how to ship stuff, it was, I think, around $4 something to ship something. Now it's $10. So keep that in mind, especially if you're selling stuff on eBay or wherever you're selling stuff. Well, eBay is a whole nother monster. eBay takes 13% of whatever you sell, so keep that in mind. But this is usually what I do when I sell stuff on eBay, is I use a flat rate box. And eBay does give you a discount on that. So keep that in mind. Keep shipping in mind when you're shipping stuff, especially if you're going to pay the shipping yourself. So the main thing that I see people do when they're shipping out really expensive stuff, the post office, in these boxes, there's a little strip of adhesive there, right? And most people think that that's good enough. That is far from being good enough. So to show you guys, I used to work at the post office, so I know how packages are treated once they leave my hands. This isn't always the case, but it's, you got to think, these post office people, especially the delivery guys, they've got a lot to do. They've got a lot of places to be. When they're loading those trucks up, they are not delicate. They're just chucking stuff in there. So for gits and shiggles, I found this heavy rock. And we're going to put this in this box. Now, this is the wrong way to package something. We're going to put it in. Absolutely no padding. We're not putting anything in there. We're just putting this rock in there. This is the very wrong way to do it. Now we're gonna take off that adhesive thing so that way it can stick. We're gonna close it up, and boom, we've got our nicely packaged box, right? That adhesive's keeping it closed. The rock's in there, and actually, surprisingly, oh, there it goes. Now, because there's nothing padding it, it's just rolling around in there. So let's give it the good old post office treatment real quick, and we'll see how this does. All right, guys, so we've got our box here. Let's just start treating it like it's on its way to your house. Doing pretty good. As you can see, though, it's already got a tear in it. So that's kind of cool. The adhesive's actually holding up better than I thought it was going to. So, let's give it another whirl. hate my job at the post office. Jeez. Ugh. Stupid box. Now this is where I usually see the damage done, actually. It's usually never on the flat, which I was surprised to see a little bit of damage here, but I guess we are chipping a rock. It's up here. Let me get closer to the mic. This is where the damage usually is. So let's just give it a couple more tosses and see how our rock does. Did you hear that? The rock fell out. Here it is. It fell out. So if this was your really expensive thing that's worth over $1,000, we call this the $1,000 rock. That's it. Unless you put your insurance, unless you paid for insurance, you're kind of SOL. And even then, when you pay for insurance, you have to prove that what you have was worth $1,000. You can't just ship a rock and say it's worth $1,000. That's not how it works. So as you can see, I know we were just shipping a rock, and you know this rock's kind of heavy, but it's not that heavy compared to like when you think of just shipping normal everyday things. You know, like on eBay, there's a lot of stuff that you can buy that's going to be around this weight or heavier. So when we don't tape our box up, sure, that adhesive held up this time, but it's usually up here that I see most of these boxes fail. So that's no bueno, especially because yes, I threw it down pretty hard a couple of times, and yes, there was a rock in it, but you'd be surprised. When I was working at the post office, when we were loading up trucks, there wasn't just like, there's no time to carefully place boxes in the truck. They were just throwing them in the truck like that. And that's not the case for everybody, I guess. I can't say that because some of the people that I was working with, they did, you know, do it nice and soft. But a lot of the time, if you're running out of time, you're just tossing boxes in there, except if they're fragile. If they say fragile on there, you're usually a little bit more fragile with them. But otherwise, it's just get them in and get going so that way everyone can get their boxes. So, you know, and don't forget, it's passing between a lot of different hands too. So it's, if someone accidentally drops it, I'm not saying some people are purposely throwing your stuff around. The post office is not like that. They do take care of your stuff, but you know, keep in mind, accidents happen. If someone's like trying to pick up your box and they're not thinking it's as heavy as it is, yeah, it might fall. So this is why we're gonna package stuff up the right way. So we can't blame the post office for anything. It's really our own fault if we don't package it up the right way. So we can't keep blaming the post office. Let's package stuff up the right way. Now, you can go out and you can get yourself a thing of bubble wrap. Here's like a couple pieces. I like to save myself money, some money. When I get Amazon packages in, I just reuse what they sent me because this stuff's got like some like padding in it a lot of the time. And I'll just save this and use this as some padding on the inside of the box. I'll usually cut out on the back side of this is my real address and everything. I'll usually cut that out and I'll just keep that, throw that away. But then the rest of this is like perfectly good packing material to save yourself from having to spend all this money on a big roll of bubble wrap. So every time I get something in, even if it's a box that's got like padding in, this is actually where I got this bubble wrap, I just save that material knowing that I'll eventually have to ship something anyways. So we're gonna start the same process. You write your name and everything, blah, blah, blah. I'm not gonna do that. You write your name. At this point, if you're shipping something, you probably know how to fill out the addresses and everything. So we have our box. The first thing I want to do is I want to pad the bottom, and that's usually where I'll use this to pad the bottom. So we've got my trusty scissors. So see, I just cut out a part of what I was sent through Amazon, and that's going to be used as padding here on the bottom. So we get our padding in the bottom here. So we've got some padding now. Now I'll take the object that I'm shipping. So in this case, it's our $1,000 rock. The rock's not really $1,000. $1,000 rock, and I'll wrap it in some bubble wrap. So we want to protect that rock. It's a $1,000 rock. We want to make sure it's going to get to our $1,000 rock buyer safe. And now once you've got it all set, it should look something like this. Notice the difference between the wrong way of doing it. In the wrong way, you just saw an empty box with a rock in it. Now, it actually looks like we're shipping something. So we're gonna do the same thing as before. Take that adhesive thing off so that way it adheses to the box well. Now we've got our box. Now here is where things get interesting. To keep our boxes safe, we're gonna tape the heck out of it. Here's the thing of packing tape. Now, packing tape, people will be like, oh, well, I don't want to use all this packing tape. Packing tape is expensive. First of all, if you're shipping $1,000 rock, I think that you can pay for a couple bucks of tape. But if your big concern is paying for tape, here's my suggestion. Go on eBay. You can buy 30 rolls of these for like 20 bucks. It's totally worth it. I did it like 6 years ago, I think, and I'm still using the tape that I bought. Totally worth it. Would recommend doing it. You'll never run out of tape, even if you're, and when I ship stuff, I tape the whole box. I mean, we don't leave an inch of cardboard when I tape. So let's tape. I start at the top, and I work my whole way down. So let's do that. Alright, so now we've got the whole thing taped around this, going this way. Now we're going to do it this way, because this is where we get our damage, right? And that's where we usually lose stuff. So now we're going to go all the way around again. Now we've got it pretty much fully taped all the way around the bottom, all the way around the sides. And if you really want to be extra safe, because this is our $1,000 rock, what I will do is I will do one piece this way over the top and one piece on the other side, like this. There's our piece. There's the one side. Now we do the other side. We have successfully packaged up our $1,000 rock. This is the correct way to do it. Now, let's go give it even more of a post office treatment. Like, well, let's give it like a UPS treatment or a FedEx treatment. Because at least the post office is nice with our boxes. UPS broke a guitar of mine once. Our correctly packaged $1,000 rock. Here we go. I'm a UPS man. I'm stepping on it. I'm literally stepping on this thing. We are destroying this box. I mean, like, I don't think a box could be treated any worse than this one. Like, we are treating this even more badly than we did the other one. Now, this is like clearly an extreme here. Like, we are just really messing this box up. I weigh 190 pounds, just so everybody's aware. That's how much is being stepped on this package. I don't know how this could be abused anymore. I'm really trying, guys. I'm really trying to get this thing open. Jeez, this thing just does not want to die. Alright, that's probably good. So as you can see, we abused the heck out of this thing. I hopped on this thing. I jumped all over it. I did as much as I could to try to break this thing open, and look, it's still, I mean, it's beat, but it's fully intact. Fully intact. So our $1,000 rock withstood hard throws, hard drops, somebody literally stomping on it, which will never happen at a post office, by the way. People don't do that, but we are doing the extremes here. This thing was stomped on. It was just totally abused. And this thing too, because it's got so much tape on it, if I poured water all over it, it would be fine too. So if it's pouring rain, no issue. That's the difference. This box, with no tape, broke open in just a couple of throws. This box, with the correct padding on the inside and the right taping all the way around, survived. This $1,000 rock made it to your buyer. This $1,000 rock was lost in the mail. You're never getting that $1,000 rock back, and you're probably going to lose your $1,000 rock money. In this one, the customer gets it, and they're happy. Let's open it up, shall we? I know that you can't really break a rock, but let's open it up anyways. Like, oh, geez, just got my $1,000 rock in the mail, honey. Let's take a look here. Geez, the post office really messed this one up. Oh, we got our packing. And there it is, our $1,000 rock, chilling, nice, safe and sound, inside of our bubble wrap. As you can see, tape makes a huge difference. It doesn't matter if you're packing up a small flat rate box like this, or if you're packing up a huge box. You can never go overboard with tape. Don't ever think that you're going to annoy your buyer or whoever or your grandma or whoever you're shipping to because you put too much tape on it. At the end of the day, the person's going to be more annoyed because you didn't package it correctly and lost their $1,000 rock. You lost grandma's $1,000 rock that you're trying to get back to her that she was letting you use for whatever reason, and she's going to be mad that it was lost. And if someone's really going to be annoyed about the tape, be like, hey, listen, lady, grandma, at least you got your $1,000 rock because it got there safe, even after it was used and abused and stomped on. So get some tape, guys. Just get the tape. Seriously, eBay. Great spot to get your tape. Like I said, 30 rolls for around 20 bucks. Probably went up a little bit since then because of inflation and stuff, but even then I don't think it's going to be that much more. Even if you can get yourself a roll, like $1 a roll, that's great because these last forever, especially if you buy 30 of them. You'll never run out. I still have 4 rolls, and like I said, I bought these like 6 years ago. We're doing great. We're doing really good on tape. So get yourself tape your stuff up correctly, and you'll never have to worry about something being lost in the mail because the box burst open. I guess that's all I gotta say, guys. I hope you enjoyed this fun little journey of beating up boxes. Don't worry, no boxes were actually harmed in this video. Actually, like 2 boxes were. But no other boxes were really harmed in this video. It's okay. These ones were professional stunt boxes. They wanted to do this. They signed a waiver and everything. Thanks for this goofy episode, guys. I appreciate you watching, and I hope it was informative. Have a great rest of your day, or week, or month. Just have a great time. And I'll see you guys in the next video.